Neil, would you lead us in?
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Linda, would you lead us in roll?
Betty?
Here.
Sarah?
Here.
Neil?
Here.
Chris?
Here.
Hank?
Here.
All accounted for.
All right, welcome everybody. We'll get started with public comment. Go ahead, Paul.
Good evening. Monday night, I went to the public hearing on the the budget. And we were given this tentative budget, and then the one that we get tonight, the numbers are totally different. Okay, and then also on Monday night's meeting, actually, I think, and I'm asking the board to hold off on voting on the budget tonight until they check with the attorney for the town, because on Monday night you had no taxable assessment, no tax rate, just those two items there null and void the public hearing due to the inaccuracies in the incomplete budget. On the budget that was handed out today, just on the first page, there's 6 changes in the money's amount. All right. Also, according to the Association of Towns, the full budget, before it's voted on, must sit in the clerk's office for 5 days for the public to see it before you can vote on it. Also, in either one of these, there's no fire contract with also null and voids. You have to have a complete budget according to the Association of Towns and laws of the state of New York. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Any other comments? Paul.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Town Supervisor. Paul Spencer, Town Palatine, live on Bar Road. Just an interesting thing tonight came up in the paper. There's nothing really, it's just something that was very interesting. In the venue to increase tourism in New York State has been busy putting a lot of signs up on the highways to encourage the wineries and just tourism, the Adirondack, et cetera, et cetera. The cost of that was $1.75 million, which we could almost run a town 2 years on that kind of money to make something, equate it with something relevant. The point I was going to make, that buys you 500 signs. The division of that comes out to $3,500 a sign. I sometimes question how the state can get away with doing those things, but yet our town, our little town here in Palatine, strives hard to keep our budget within control, and I think our board has done the best job of any of the boards that I've been attending in a long, long time in trying to keep these budgets under control. Let's not hope that we ever look at the point of, well, we'll get it from somewhere. Thank you very much.
Any other comments? All right, then we need the motion to close public comment.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Moving on to reports. Art.
All right, since last month, we got our first winter storm the day after the board meeting. It was actually a nice little wake us up, and we got to see a few spots where we actually went out after the storm and fixed driveways where water was running out in the road, where when it's raining it don't do that, but when there's snow in the driveways and stuff, it tends to do that kind of thing, and help keep some of the water off the road for the winter, so it helps alleviate some icing. We've also graded the dirt roads again, continue maintenance work on vehicles. Currently, we're out cutting some trees and brush. And I know guys are using up some vacation time before the end of the year too, so. The CHIPS money and the Paved New York paperwork was sent in. We should be receiving payments for those in December. in the amounts of $66,217.06 and $15,114.70. You need to amend the budget to show, that we're getting, $81,331.76 in state aid rather than the $66,000 that's in the budget.
In the 2017 budget?
2016 budget. The 2016 budget shows an estimate of $66,000 for chips,
Yeah,
but we're actually getting $81,331.76.
okay.
So just, you guys need to make a motion to amend the budget to, make sure that gets put in the record.
Okay.
Did we spend that, or are we ahead now?
No, we spent.
We spent it.
You
so-
gotta spend it before they'll give it to you.
Right, but we spent more and we got more, is what you're saying.
No, we didn't spend as much on paving as what, we're given from the state. I
Okay.
actually used some crusher shoulder material to make up the difference,
Okay.
which is all legal. Well, our paving was, I think 77,000, somewhere in that range this year.
Okay.
So I had to use like $3,000 worth of crusher run to be able to meet the minimums. I don't like to carry any CHIPS money over. If we get it this year, I wanna use it this year.
Right, because they can take it away, right?
If they don't give it to you,
Wow.
you know, you can carry some over, but who's to say if next year if the legislature decides they don't wanna do CHIPS, then anything that you didn't use, you ain't gonna get. It's the end of November. I need a town board resolution to name the north end of Gerhart Road and the northern section of Con Road from Boris driveway to the Block Farm as seasonal roads from December 1st till April 1st.
Will you say that again?
Gerhart Road, north end, from Daggett Road to Hickory Hill. And then Con Road from the Boris driveway to the Block Farm. As seasonal roads from December 1st to April 1st. The same two that have been seasonal for a long time.
Anything else?
Yep. The only other thing I got is I did find out a little more information on the leasing of a vehicle. A municipal lease is totally different than a personal vehicle lease. Municipal lease, you lease it, after you make the payments, you own it. So essentially all you're doing is borrowing money to buy it. I was given some numbers. One company that does it is Daimler. Daimler Chrysler. They usually do 3 to 5 years. You make your first payment when you take delivery, then you have an annual payment every year after that. And the current interest rate is right around 3.5%.
How much?
3.5, you said, Art?
Current, yeah. I mean, I saw an example yesterday of a 3-year, they were at 3.65, and on a 5-year, they were at 3.3. So I just saying
Just average it
3.5, yeah, averaging out. But that's essentially all you're doing is financing a vehicle.
Financing went down.
Yeah.
I see.
And it comes out to be about, if you finance for 5 years or 3 years, it adds about 10% to the cost of the vehicle for the financing. Is what I figured on the calculator. And I just curious if the board is interested in replacing anything. I mean, I made several recommendations throughout the course of the year. We haven't bought anything. If we don't replace something, we're gonna start falling behind.
Yeah, and where we ended with the budget is that any equipment purchase would come out of fund balance, so we don't need to include it in the budget unless we were gonna tax for it and go over the cap,
Right.
which we wouldn't do.
Right. Gotcha.
So the budget we passed tonight in no way precludes the purchase of equipment should we need it. I know you recommended the plow, and there was also the
Bucket loader.
bucket loader?
Yeah,
and
but the bucket loader is gonna be a wash. It's not gonna cost anything.
Okay.
Shouldn't, hasn't. Anybody that's doing it hasn't come.
Was the pickup part of that?
No, for next year, I said, pretty sure it was just the plow truck and the loader. And the loader, like I say, should be a wash. The neighboring towns that are doing it, they keep them 2 years, they sell them at public auction, they get exactly what the new one costs them. So they get a new loader for nothing.
Isn't there another major piece of equipment that's about the same size, same
Oh,
expense as the plow?
I said, the following year I said the grade all.
The grade all, that's what it was.
That's a high dollar purchase.
Right, okay.
That was
So-
for 2018.
Okay. We need to map that out. So let's make a of what year, you know, what equipment would be purchased. I know you started it,
Yeah, I gave it to you already.
but it didn't go by year,
Yeah, it did.
right?
Yeah. I gave you the next 3 years, 'cause that's what Chris asked for.
And it was each piece of equipment?
No, it was the recommendation, what he wants to replace over the next 3 years. But I don't know how it fits in our budgetary schedule and
Yeah.
what we want to do. So I think we need to kind of take a long-term strategy and take a look at hours and mileage and feel out what we want to do. But we have the beginning of it. Now, although it might be interesting, even though it may add some cost to the purchase of a vehicle, but it would allow us to have exact payments for a number of years, where we don't have these budgets where we submit $170,000 in 1 year for a piece of equipment, or you know, have these big swings in the budget. We could be static. It may be something to think about and have a discussion.
You mean the lease?
The lease.
Yeah.
Because if we made $60,000, let's say we allocated $60,000 in a budget for the next 3 to 5 years, okay? Just putting a number, as opposed to scrambling to find $180,000 or $200,000 every
Well,
other year.
It doesn't really work. You can't carry over.
I know we can't carry over, but I'm saying that would be a way maybe we could cushion the blow. I don't know. I would like to really have an analysis of it and figure out where we're going.
That's why they're using the lease fiction, is that it doesn't really involve carryover.
Right. But it gives us a stable, exact payment every year.
Some of the towns that are doing the lease deal they're leasing for 5 years, and as soon as the lease is up, they're selling a good used truck, and they get another brand new truck. So they're staying with new equipment, repair costs are down because everything's under warranty for 5 years. You see what I'm saying?
So the lease allows, they will warranty it for us for as long as we have the lease, is what you're saying?
That's not about the
War-
roads.
No, warranty on a new vehicle, with the extended warranty is 5 years on major equipment. You know,
Okay.
it don't warranty little stuff, but, for example, the radiator in the truck that was leaking, that wasn't warranted. But the motor, the transmission, rear ends, the major components, you know, that stuff's all warranted for 5 years.
You don't have a copy of that for your plan with you, do you?
No.
All right, well, I have a little more time on my hands now, so I will follow up with you, and then we can.
That's all I got. Unless you guys got any other questions?
Thanks, Art. Cheryl?
Okay, last month I handled 2 complaints. I completed 1 rabies case and started another one that will close on the 22nd of November. I issued 2 parents' tickets for non-renewal of license, and I issued 9 10-day notices for non-renewal and 2 for no license. That's it.
And we have a written report from Leanne. And a written report from Cliff. Linda?
Okay, I got nothing basically of my report to report, but Ron Dybert did ask me to, Chris mentioned that he wanted to know about the court money that, and I told you I had the reports.
Right.
And you hadn't come in to get them, so I just added them up in a 5-year period. What the town got to keep in court funds was $35,910.26 for 5 years.
Total 5 years, not
Total of
each
five-
year.
No, total for
Total
5
for
years
five.
was 35,910.26. Okay?
Thank you very
You're
much, I
welcome.
appreciate
If
it.
you want to
No,
see these, you can,
I-
you know,
fine.
I
see them.
appreciate it. It's,
Thank you.
that lets us really hammer down on us.
About 7,000 a
Yeah.
But, you
No.
know,
But it's not,
yeah, 1 year was 13,000 and the other was, you know, small amounts, you know, it depends, you
and
know.
it's
but-
it's been, for next year, this year it will cost more than it brings in, and next year it most likely will.
Yeah.
We're budgeting that that will need to spend about 2,500 more than comes in.
This was only what I had. He gives you your reports, you know, and you won't have one till the end of the year this year.
It's actually, right, and you're just calculating salaries and stuff like that.
I'm the income and expense, not including space or.
Right.
But just the
Allocated space,
salaries,
which is- right.
this was based on salaries and contractuals.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Okay? Yep,
Thank you very much, Linda.
you're welcome.
And report from the planning board?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Our last meeting, we had a couple subdivisions. One was pretty much a re-review of a subdivision that was done a year ago. For some reason or another, they never handed in the Mylar, so the tax information never went through. So we had to resubmit and do everything for them so they can hand that in to the county. We also had another subdivision, which was really pretty much just a movement of a property line. It was either that or he was gonna share a swimming pool with a neighbor, so. The only other couple things that would.
Cool.
Yeah, why not? The other couple things we have, as of right now, we got a couple board members over in Fort Plain. They're doing a meeting for a local waterfront revitalization plan. They're doing it for most of the municipalities in this local area. As far as what we can tell, it really doesn't affect us so much as far as Palatine goes, because the only local waterfront we really have is either adjoining the railroad tracks or it's over in Elliston. But they went just to kind of get some information, get some feedback as far as our comprehensive plan is concerned, see if we can get any information from that. And the only other thing is we're trying to nail down a solar farm law, and see what direction we want to go in. And we want to see what direction you guys as a board want to go in as far as do we want to encourage something like this, discourage, get some feedback from the board, the town, as far as what direction we want to go in. As I said, we're still working on a draft. There's still a lot of bits, pieces, parts, size, as far as whether it's one on someone's roof or 20 acres.
Yeah. So I think it would be helpful to have a few, kind of queries, general questions, kind of sort of guiding questions that would help folks could begin to think about when they think about solar projects in the town. And we could hold not a public hearing, but a public forum, on it, just ask people to come, voice their opinions, use those several questions as sort of leading queries, and then go from there. that would also help you, give you a sense of,
How we wanna write this. I
Yeah.
mean, we've got pretty much the general basic information, what we think the town, you know, different, I guess, opinions of what way we wanna go in.
Mhm.
Not really like, okay, do we want, okay, well, this is how we're gonna go about putting out a roof, okay, you wanna put some handles out in your yard,
Mhm.
or you wanna lease your 20 acres of your property because someone showed up, you know, do we wanna say, no, you can't do that, or yeah, you can do it this way, or,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Do we
Yeah.
want it or don't we want it?
Right.
Yeah.
So, do you guys wanna think about putting together those several questions? Would it be helpful for me to, for the board to think about a few questions?
Okay.
Well, we'd like you to take the lead on the forum.
Yes, yes. But you would do the question.
Yeah, we'd be glad.
That'd be fine.
Great,
And then you
okay.
can add to it if you think we're missing anything.
Great, okay.
Normally, the comprehensive plan would guide us,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
the comprehensive plan doesn't cover green energy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I can get this straight, when you said you wanted, we want you to take the lead, the town board?
The town board.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll call the forum.
So from our next meeting is the first Wednesday in December, we'll create the questions and then email those with the draft of the law that we have so far.
Great. Thank you, Joe.
Yes.
And Bill is here for the Board of Ethics.
Do you want me to talk, Paul, or do you want to talk?
Well, I didn't know that we would have to do a report, because this is kind of coming off the cuff. I can give a brief report. Of course, everybody knows that I'm on the ethics board now. We had a brief meeting on the 12th with Mr. Winsman and Mr. Vandenberg. And we come to one conclusion. I got shanghaied that night, or that afternoon. I am the chairman of the ethics board. I'm not experienced as a chairperson, so we'll do the best we can. My reports, if we have to have them, will be tight. Henry has also insisted that we, and I think we also should, do some changing in the present laws that we've got, and we're gonna work on that. So that's basically all I have to report tonight. And of course, we could, I think, we're still maybe possibly one person short, but Hank seems comfortable being, replacing the one man, or the one person short. So,
But we can't do that until the law is changed, so,
okay,
yeah.
great, yeah.